Hello everybody. I want to take this opportunity to tell you about one of my books. We're going to make a series of videos about each one of the books. And I think this is the third one. This is called 12 Tunes for Linear Diatonic Improvisation. And the objective of this book is to help musicians who can already play their instruments, help them learn how to improvise. Now, this is not necessarily a jazz improv book, but it could be used that way. It's more of an improv book. And the jazz tunes on here are sort of like beginner jazz tunes for advanced players. My image I had in my head when I sat down to write it was, what if I had a symphony student, someone who was in the Houston Symphony or something like that, who wanted to learn how to play jazz? Well, there were no tunes out there that fit my curriculum for a beginner improviser. So I wrote tunes that would facilitate that for those students. The book has, like the title says, 12 songs in it. They are transposed for bass clef, E flat, B flat, and concert pitch. And there's some instructions inside the book, what to do with it. And so you learn the tunes. This is the one that's playing in the background right now. You learn the tunes and you use your ear to improvise over the solo sections. You don't, at this stage, at the beginning stage, we don't want to get so deep into the theory of what we're doing. Not that we're afraid of theory. We're not anti-theory. Of course we want that. But I think it's very important when you first start improvising to sound good now. That's why I had to write new tunes, because on a standard jazz tune, that's actually kind of difficult to do at first. Now these tunes have been specifically designed to force you to use your ear. These tunes are, so you're going to stay in one key at a time. The tunes do not change keys. That's part of what makes it a beginner tune. But the chords change. So this is not like so there are beginner tunes out there that people will do, modal songs, tunes that don't change chords. But I actually think my approach is better, because while you're learning the technical side, you're also learning to listen. Because when you hit that note at that part in the song that doesn't sound quite right, your mind keeps a record of that, and maybe next time around you won't hit that note. And I always have to warn people when I'm talking about this, because I teach jazz improvisation. I've been teaching jazz improv since the 80s. And some of my students from my class when I used to teach at HSPVA are now considered the best jazz players in the world for their instruments. Among the best jazz players in the world. And I won't name names because I don't do that. They know who they are. Okay? The ones that went through my class are great players today. So I know about the advanced stuff and the theory and all that stuff. Okay, I'm not trying to get around that. I'm trying to help you get your foot in the door. A lot of times people get discouraged and quit because they can't sound good. They'll do all the stuff they were told to do, and it's still not sounding like it needs to sound. This linear approach is your foot in the door. This is your beginning, the way to get started without all of the frustration that goes with it. And so that's why I wrote this book. You do need to be a halfway decent player to pull this off, but you don't have to have any experience on your improvisation. Now, we used to sell it with a CD, and we're changing that. Now, what I'm about to tell you hasn't been implemented yet. It will be hopefully soon. We used to sell a CD with it that had the tracks that you would play with. I think what we're going to do now instead is to put those tracks on YouTube so that you could play along with those tracks and not sell them anymore. And part of the reason I want to do this is I would really like to get away from selling physical products through our store. We do a bit of traveling now and again, and every time we have to travel, we have to shut down all of the physical products so that we don't accidentally make a sale while we're gone and then have to not be here to put that product in the mail. So we are trying to get away from selling physical products here, and the CDs don't come with the ones that they sell at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. So yeah, so what we want to do is make those tracks available so that you can just go to YouTube and play the book, the tunes from the book with the tracks on YouTube. So, but that's a later project. Probably I'm hoping May of this year, 2018. And so I can tell you now that it'll be a playlist on this channel, and it'll have 12 tracks. So be looking for that. If you like the book, if you buy the book and want to play with the tracks, alternatively, you can also just input the stuff into Band in the Box. So that's what I've got for you. If you are interested in this book and have other questions, please feel free to ask down below. And if you have comments about it, that's fine too. And that's what I have for you. 12 tunes for linear diatonic improvisation. God bless you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.